So our project, which our startup is called Doyban, but the project is basically about games without installation. These are like games which, as you can guess, are without installation, and we truly believe that with the 5G, it will be a new gaming standards in the big tech, big gaming sector. And we are planning to launch a Kickstarter campaign in a few months, and in the 5 or 4.5 minutes, I will show you a little bit of the story and the general idea behind this. Okay, some of the section I will skip because there's not enough time. So how it has started? At the beginning, some time back, I read in a book that in the future we'll be actually playing games without actually installing them. So it will be just it was written that they will be sent by links, and we just click the links and play them. So I just started doing a hobby project. My brother was helping me a little bit. So we pushed to Android, Facebook Web, iOS, and so on. But 1 year ago, something has changed. Actually, Facebook introduced Messenger instant games. People from China should know WeChat mini games is basically Western, let's say, yes, basically the same type of gaming like in which you can guys find since actually 2016. Facebook introduced this a year ago, and these were very simple games, but somehow we realized that 150K players worldwide have played this. Even though with this amount of players you can make just a few hundreds of euros, but okay, there were some few players. The games are crap because they're prototypes, so we have seen some potential. At that time, me and my brother were actually working on this. But a year ago, when the Messenger instant games have been introduced, we realized that it can be a business idea. So we thought, well, this is B2C, business to consumer. So how we can monetize this, or how we can find an investor, how we can show our projects. We realized that that crowdfunding would be the best because it's B2C, and Kickstarter is the largest platform. So that's the reason. Kickstarter has with Kickstarter you can really scale up your project. You can reach to so many people. This is a B2C, so we think that people also like this kind of cool project, but also many games projects. That's the basically idea why Kickstarter. But also we want to validate if the idea actually makes sense, if anyone is willing to spend actually money on this. This I will skip. How it works basically in the chat app which you have. This is like a small browser, let's say Google Chrome. This is connected via internet to the cloud, where it is all the data and is all the games. And then the user in the messenger simply taps and plays. Right now, this is just only messenger. But also Snapchat and Telegram and WhatsApp. Sometimes we can see in media that some information reveals that these companies are also actually WhatsApp and Messenger is the same company, but these apps are also planning to start at some point this kind of simple casual games, but which will be launched without installation. I think I have 1 minute left, so this I will skip. This I will skip. This I will also skip. This is our timeline. So yeah, at the beginning there were fun games, then there were instant games, which are games before installation. When we launch our campaign, we want to release every 4 months different game. And for the multiplayer, we are planning, which is also without installation, we are planning to develop this within a half year. What we will use the money which we are planning to win in the contest for ad tech. Basically, there are some websites which will help you to show your project to a larger audience, like Backer Club, like Crofter, or like a Jello. And this project already took like something like 5K, and the next 15-20K will be in marketing for the Kickstarter project, which is actually my life saving. I will just leave the last slide to show our team because it has changed a little bit. So now we are in 3, and I think.
Thank you very much, Daniel. You're out of time, but I think it's good to leave the picture of the team there so everyone can see.
Yeah.
Let's start with some questions from the jury members. Any of the jury members that wants to go? I see Karin unmuted herself.
Yes, I have a question. In the beginning, I was triggered by you saying I'm going to set the new standard, 5G gaming standard. But in your presentation, I did not feel this innovative thought anymore. What is 5G and what is standard about the story that you present?
Yeah, so maybe there would be more time, then I would show also like a movie. So basically, 5G will speed up all the network and so on. So what it will get, so some games actually are taking quite some space, okay? And as the connection will be faster, the, let's say, heavier games will be able to play without actually installing them, because you can just tap and play. Yeah, what it gives right now, let's say with 4G we can tap and play simple games. With 5G we'll be able to tap and play more advanced games.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other questions from the jury members?
So what's the sort of background of the team that allows them to build huge numbers of these small interactive games that are really sort of engaging for the players?
What's the background of our team, right?
Yeah. Why would your team be able to outcompete a game studio that has more people with more experience?
All right, so here we are just in 3. So these are the people who are working constantly on this, which is me, my brother, and Nag, which is actually awesome developer. So I have started this. My brother was from the graphic design point of view, and Nag is actually working in the. So for us, it was a hobby project, but Nag is working with this for in gaming industry for something like 3 or 4 years. So from, let's say, game development perspective, he's now the head of development, I would say. And so starting since the end of last year, he joined us, and we also have a prototypes for the games which we are planning to release. On top of this, we also have some freelancer for the, let's say, how's it called, game assets design. And I think with this combination and actually the scope of the messenger app, we are actually, to be honest, quite surprised that we were able to reach out 150k players. But with this, the new games, the new background, the Kickstarter, I think this will work out.
And then sort of, you mentioned you've got these big numbers of players. How do you think you'll be able to make money after the Kickstarter?
Ads and in-app purchases, all ads, advertisement, and in-app purchases have been already implemented. So from technical point of view, actually everything is ready, and it was also one of the aims for the prototypes to shrink the time after Kickstarter for technical challenges. So as I said, with 150k, you could make something like, I don't know, 500 euros. But if you want to make really money, you need to have at least 500,000 of players a day.
Okay, thank you very much. We have time for one more question from the jury. As I don't see any questions from the audience, I would like to encourage once more to write questions in the chat if you have any, so we can also answer your questions. Any other questions from the jury that we should answer now? I take that as that everything is clear. Thanks a lot for the presentation, Daniel, actually, I see there's one question from the audience now that our voice from the audience, Jose Carlos, might want to read out before we move on.
Yes, in the very last moment. So we had a question regarding the scalability of this solution that you're proposing. Is it easy to scale the games to their applications? Or in general, how are these games deployed?
Yeah, so if any one of you is has a background in web development, you might have heard about HTML5 standard, which actually is not only HTML but also JavaScript. And all these games actually are based on a web standards. So, for example, to deploy on Android and iOS as a native app, we use hybrid solution. But these games actually, this is just purely a web solution. And WeChat and Messenger, they have exactly the same technical requirement, which is HTML5, which is actually our code base. And for example, Snapchat has acquired a company to make this kind of games for, I don't know, like 50 millions of euros or something like this. So all of the new upcoming apps will have the HTML5 standard. And if you look at Messenger, which is Facebook, if WhatsApp will do it, then it will be the same standard, most probably.
Okay, thank you very much, Daniel.